Good morning, gang. And it is Friday, October 3rd. Today's the 3rd. I was trying to think of, upcoming things to talk about this morning because I'm trying to do more of these podcasts, get up early. It gives me an excuse to get up early, start my day early. I get a lot more done in the morning before the kids get up. I get a lot more done in the morning before I go to work. Then you go to work and you do the grind and you do this and you do that. And you get out of work and you're like, oh, I'll get that work done. It's like, well, now you're exhausted from the day. So why not get it all done before you go to work and get a nice workout in so your work lasts, so your ability to be awake lasts longer. The workout, the stretching, all that stuff is to come. Dietary changes occur at the same time. The no drinking thing. It was like, I want to say it was middle of the day yesterday. It was like, wham, I just got hit like by my ADHD, and I was like, man, this is great. Now I'm a believer in Matt Walsh, where he likes to also point out that ADHD is one of those like make-up catch-alls, right? Like, oh, he's just a hyperactive kid. It's like, yeah, and there's so much stimuli in the world and dopamine hits, and we still don't like know what any of this crap is, but just to lump everybody, it's like, oh, you're a hyper kid, just means you're a kid. You must be ADHD. But anyways, I'm using it as a fun little moniker, right? So I harness it. I use it to my advantage, and it's like, oh, it's kicked on. Like time to focus it, time to be cognizant of it, time to do it, time to take care of it, and it just allows me to get more done. It makes me more productive, and what I find is alcohol suppresses that. Makes me sleepy and tired, and it's like, so it's easier just to be sober, and that's I'm embracing this new lifestyle change that starts with this. I'm calling it my final sober October. I'm going to invite all of you to be sober during October. Every year, remember, sober October includes no drinking, no smoking, no illicit drug use, So I invite everybody to do it, including the meth heads down the street. Like, if you're, hey, no smoking meth this month, man. It's sober October. Which just gave me an idea for a great new series. So, or not a great new series, but, another battle plan from the front of attack that is the scourge of our neighborhood and the Neighborhood Watch war planning room. So, anyways, that said, I was trying to come up with something to talk about this morning, and it had occurred to me, like, it's October, right? So, okay, what's in October, right? Besides sober October, besides, like, the continuation of football season. Deer season started on the 1st, which I'd like to get out there, and New York State allows crossbow to be used with compound bow. I do enjoy the crossbow. I also still enjoy the compound bow. Till I start working out, man, I don't know how many accurate shots I'm going to be taking, so I better start working out. And I know a lot of you avid hunters out there, like, you should have been practicing all year round, Kevin. Which, yes, to your point, I probably should have. But where do you find the time? Right? And so it's one of those economic decisions, right? I chose to allocate my time differently. With that said, the other thing that occurred to me was a post I saw online, and I didn't think anything of it, and it just occurred to me, like, the deadline for that post is coming up, and I'm like, oh man. So I just sent this person a message who made the post to see if it was legitimate, and I checked the website, and I've been trying to keep this, like, topic, just not that I've been kind of neglecting you guys, so neglecting the channel, so apologies for that, but one of the things I haven't been doing on the channel, I've been talking about things that are, like, actually important, and this is important, but, like, the entire topic isn't important. It is a fan favorite. I've been getting a pile of Luke Winkie letters, a pile of them in the last few months. They just keep coming in, and they're stacking behind the ones that are like 2 years old. And so I've got to start getting back to, like, the Friday, Saturday releases of those, but we're running out of time to release them before Luke is released, and that is kind of like, I think everyone's been like letting it sit by the wayside. Like it's been being posted a lot online by like the people involved in the Luke Winky Files website, and it is. I don't think a lot of people realize like how legitimate it is and how these people are actually like following the story like wholeheartedly, like it's to convict a murderer or to, you know, whatever that show was with that the guy who killed that poor girl in the Netflix series that completely misportrayed that guy from Ohio or whatever. So he apparently he's being released on the 7th. Because he was deemed not a threat or a risk to human life or property, which he's not a risk to me because he's like 4'0" and he can't own a firearm, which doesn't mean he won't get one. I mean, he's gotten them in the past. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're not supposed to have these receivers, but he has them. Like it was one of those like. This is why, like, people are like, oh, we need more gun laws. It's like, why? Because the people that don't need guns and shouldn't have, like, the people that shouldn't have them, not need. The people that should not have them, get them. And that's why, like, every American should be armed to the teeth. That's it. Like, for your own personal protection. Secondly, you should also be armed to the teeth because, like, when the one day that the government says, hey, you're under our control and you don't have these rights that we said you did. And then literally every American, including the baby in the stroller, can just be like, wait a minute, what? And that's what it's there for. Like, and I know Joe Biden used to make jokes like, you're not going to protect yourself from us? What are you, an idiot? We could just send airstrikes over your neighborhoods. It's like, well, that's not like, that's another reason why every American needs to be armed to the hilt. Because, like, yeah, we might be fighting it on multiple fronts. Then that's a good reason why the Second Amendment should expand for surface-to-air missiles and and fighter jets. Because, like, the government is here to serve us, and once the subservient entity like goes on a rampage, you know what I mean? Breaks its chains and says, no, screw you. I'm not your dancing monkey. I own you. And it's like, that's not how the government works. You don't own us and you never will. And the moment you do, you cease to exist. And that's what the Second Amendment right is. It's a kill switch, right? It's a dead man switch. So anyways, then another rant about the Second Amendment and how amazing it is. Luke's getting out. So I'm not afraid of Luke because he's near. And then, but there are other people that are because he's made threats to them. And then it's funny how like lawyers will play those games. It's like, well, he's not a threat to other people. Because he has no victims. He has nobody that has a restraining order against him because they've released them all because those people were involved in making a website. And it's like, what? They made a website to like, hey, if you were raped, right? And like, and you made a website to like, promote rape awareness and like fallacies in the law that allow rapists to get away. Like you're the victim of a crime, right? I'm not trying to equate like stalking and threats of violence and stuff like that to rape. It's an escalated version of where those those were all precursors before, most likely before it happened, unless it was just like an unprovoked, like just some strange guy in an alleyway or at a gas station behind the corner or whatever. Rant, sorry. But if there are things that lead up to this, and you are like, if there are things that are leading up to an escalated act of violence or act of sexual assault or whatever, like, and this person's threatening you and they're like using psychological warfare and they're making your life a living hell, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I just want to let everybody know about this. Like, the court hasn't told me to be quiet. The court sees me as a victim and blah, 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 and I just want to tell my story. And then as soon as you tell your story by creating a website, it's like, oh, this person is the aggressor because they're making light of this person's mental instability. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, court? Like, it just, like, courts all over the country are just like, and I understand it, right? Like, Luke can have his delusional, deranged ideas. But as soon as he starts, like, assaulting people, mentally assaulting people, threatening people, things like that, like, then his, like, mental delusions become life-threatening, and he becomes a Jordan Neely, right? Like, that's right, Luke. If you're listening to this, I'm equating your behavior to Jordan Neely's. Like, it is not just that of, like, you know, one of the Crumb brothers who are just innocently, like, just kind of, like, lower IQ and just kind of, like, happy-go-lucky, and every so often, you know, you get the wide range of emotions, and you get angry over something like, I spilled my french fries, like, or someone stole my drink. Like, you know, like, that's... And if that's the extent of it, then, like, nobody would really worry about you. We worry about you because, like, you do make threats of violence. You do, like, mentally, like, exhaust people to the point that, like that you can then start, like, making them go insane alongside you, and that's what people fear. People fear that, and you do that to instill the fear, and that's where people have an issue, and that's where you become a threat to society. Now, can you become violent? Well, I mean, you've mentioned to me in the past that, like, oh, we could do this, we could do that. You were found with receivers. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not allowed to talk about that. Like that was all over the news, and then it all got squashed because it all got squashed because you had you turned state's evidence on the guys that were buying the gun kits without the receivers, so it wasn't red flagged by the government. And then you turned state's evidence on these people. So maybe street justice will take care of itself. Maybe those guys will find you. You know, I'm just throwing that out there. Like, snitches get stitches. I mean, they have these sayings for a reason. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, you know, that is an issue. Like, if the guy is, like, coordinating with other nefarious people to, you know, illegally harvest firearms and create them, then it's one thing for, like, just to have a legitimate firearm for, like, government revolt when one day the government just comes along and you're like, no, invoking Second Amendment rights. But to, like, sit there and, like, start stockpiling it for your compound for your own, like, offense. See, that's the Second Amendment isn't for offense, it's for defense. And so, like, oh, that neighbor looks like he's going to shoot me. I better shoot him first. Like, nope, that's sorry. That's not how it works. But yeah, no, these that's another reason why he's, like, a threat to society. Like, that's something he's doing, and it's like, well, but the only thing they were holding him on was the threats to because they dropped all the other charges because he turned state's evidence. The only reason he was serving time was for the threats to some people in, like, Michigan or Missouri or someplace, and it's like, all right, so now they're going to release him. Great. What does that mean? You know, he's not going to, like, hang out wherever the heck he is. It looked like the docket that was posted was, like, from Massachusetts or something. Like, he's not going to hang out in Massachusetts. There's nothing for him in Massachusetts. His grubby, like, bulged forehead, huge, like, cousin sex families out here. And that's not to disrespect, like, the actual, like, the branch of the family that is, like, normal. Like, I have a lot of respect for some of those people. It's just the little, like, you know, the dying tree limb, the Charlie Brown tree that is his side of the family tree. That's what I'm referring to. So, meant no disrespect for, like, legitimate people. So, but they're all here. And he has a title to property rights here. But, like, why would he not come back to his house? Why would he not be, like, 10 blocks from my house, right? Like, that's, so, yeah. That's why a lot of people are upset. That's, when then more people should be upset, but they're not aware of it because, like, you know, they're kind of, like, putting him into the back of his mind, at the back of their minds, which I don't blame them, because why would you want him, like, in the front of your mind, unless you, like, know he's getting out and, like, you're going to be one of the first targets, because now all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's not a threat to society. And the court has already lifted all stay-away orders, so now he can just go after anybody he wants to, and it's like almost like an initial offense. See? oh, well, he has a past history of this. It's like, okay, oh, great. Yeah, they'll use it when they catch him after they're standing over the corpse of one of the people that, like, put out a website that mentally tormented him, which is not mental like, he was mentally tormented because he was in solitary confinement with, like, a tablet or whatever, like, or he's in prison writing letters, and he still has access to the internet, and he still has access to all these things. It's like, so he sees that there's a website, or his mom's taking screenshots and mailing them to him, and her, like, babbling letters back to him. God, I don't want to, but I feel like you could write a Netflix series just based on, like, the Crumb Brothers stylings of the Winky, like, matriarch writing it to her, like, head Lieutenant Luke, just, like, babbling back and forth in a handwritten letter, like, just like, I throw some papers out back and let, like, the chicken scratch at it, just, like, try to translate it, do, like, a connect the dots and make words out of it, and then be like, here you go, mail this to my son. Mom, they don't let me have chickens in here, so my roommate had to write this. Oy. Anyways, so just a warning to all of you, I will be releasing some more of the Luke Winky letters that I've received. I'll be doing the readings on here, and then also, he's getting out in 4 days. That'll be a nice, what day does that put us at? Like, Wednesday, Tuesday. Oh, great Tuesday. Get released, drive right down here from Massachusetts, maybe just in time to catch the Common Council meeting for a public comment. I'm back, baby. Like, that, it sounds about right. Well, with that said, gang, I hope I gave you some great news for a Friday. Hopefully enjoy your weekend before the nonsense starts. We'll talk to you guys next time. Tomorrow, maybe? Well, Life22. Deuces.